Good morning, third graders. It's good to see you today. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. I hope that you are all enjoying learning about animals because I really am enjoying hearing what you are discovering, and watching those Flipgrid videos are so awesome. If you haven't watched your classmates' Flipgrid video, I highly recommend it. So before we go through what we're going to be working on today, let's take a minute to start with our daily opening, shall we? All right, you could say it with me. You are my other me. If I do harm to you, I do harm to myself. If I love and respect you, I love and respect myself. Great. So I was looking through some books at my house and I found this great book about Arctic animals. So I'm going to read you maybe one or two pages about Arctic animals. This is a non-fiction book, meaning that what is inside of the book is true. So I'm going to open up to the page about polar bears. Polar bears are highly specialized marine mammals who live only in the Arctic. They are strong swimmers and have been spotted in open water as far as 100 miles from land. Wow, that's pretty far out. But they usually stay at the edges of the pack ice where they feed primarily on seals. As global temperatures have risen, the pack ice has been shrinking, which is threatening polar bear populations worldwide. Polar bears don't have very good vision or hearing, but they have an excellent sense of smell that they use to find prey and explore their environment. Their favorite food is the ringed seal, which they typically hunt by finding a seal's breathing hole in the ice and waiting patiently for the seal to come to the surface. Wow. What a cool fact. Because they live in such a harsh environment, these animals have to conserve energy whenever possible. For example, when they walk through the snow, their hind legs step into the track already made by their front legs. And here is a cool science fact. Polar bears have black skin and clear fur. They look white because light bounces off the transparent hair of their thick coat. Wow, let that sink in for a minute. They have black skin and clear fur. They look white because light bounces off the transparent hair of their thick coat. So cool. Animals are so awesome. Okay, I'm going to read one more. Let's see. The harp seal. Harp seal. All right. Harp seals are agile swimmers and spend very little time on land. They have excellent vision and can close their nostrils when underwater. Without the ability to smell their prey, they rely on their highly sensitive whiskers called vibrissae. Vibrissae. I don't think I'm sounding that out correctly. To pick up on the vibrations of the fish that they feed on. When feeding, they dive to a depth of 500 to 650 feet and stay underwater for 4 to 13 minutes. Harp seals migrate to southern breeding grounds in the fall returning to the Arctic in the summer. They have been known to travel as much as 3,100 miles in a single year. Whoa. That's the length of the United States. It's almost the length from New York to Oregon. 3,000 miles. Harp seal pups have a distinctive white coat which changes as the seal gets older, becoming spotted at about 1 year old. When they become adults at about 5.5 years old, the spots merge into a harp-shaped design. Black lines that run up their sides and come together between their shoulders. Cool science fact. The scientific name of the harp seal means ice lover from Greenland. Cool. So today you're going to be thinking about the animal that you selected to study. And for project work, you are going to be using the internet and books that you have to do some research about your animal. Then you're going to be thinking about its habitat. The habitat of the Arctic animals is a snowy place in the Arctic. The habitat is the place where the animal lives. And I think this is information you have learned in 1st and 2nd grade. So you're going to be researching and studying the habitat of your animal today on your animal expeditions. For reading, you'll be reading read works and you're going to be learning about animals that live in Australia. What do you know about animals that live in Australia? You are going to be meeting the cutest, in my opinion, member of the Oregon Zoo, and that is Juno the sea otter. I love sea otters. And you're going to learn a little bit about the sea otter, and then there is an activity for you to do afterwards. Math, you're going to be doing 2 pages in your math workbook, so everyone should be able to access that. Pages 51 and 52, it's equivalent fraction practice. And then I would like for you to do some subtraction review by getting a dice. If you don't have dice, I have found that some of the board games that Trey has already has dice in them, so you can take those out of your board games and use them. If you don't have board games with dice, you can use cards. If you don't have cards, you can take a sheet of paper, you can cut it into 9 squares. You can write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on them. You might want to put a 0 in, so maybe 10. And then cut them and put them into a cup, a jar, a basket, a bag, and then pick them randomly. So those are 3 ways to access the materials if you don't have them at home. And then you're going to build a 3-digit number twice. And you're going to practice subtracting it. Then you're going to check, and then you're going to repeat. So for example, I picked the number 5, 6, and 7. 5 is going to represent 500, 6 is going to represent 60, 7 is going to represent 7 ones. I built the number 567. I'm then going to do it again. I drew a 3, or I rolled a 3. It's going to represent 300. I picked a 5, or rolled a 5. It's going to represent 55. And then I picked another 5, and that will represent 5 ones. So I built the number 355. Remember, the bigger number goes on the top. 567, I'm going to subtract that from 355 if I'm using the standard algorithm for this. Remember, there's many ways to solve the math equation. So maybe you're not stacking the numbers up. Maybe you have a different strategy to solve it. Whatever strategy you use, you're going to do that, and then you're going to check to make sure that the answer is correct. And remember that I think it was Zeki and a few others in our class that reminded us if we want to find the if the answer is correct, we take the product or the total or the sum or the solution that we had come up with, and we add it back. And then we can check to see if that answer is correct. So you're going to do that for math as well. And then when you're finished, you have many choices that you can explore at the end of the learning plan. So that is our day of work together today, 3rd graders. I am looking forward to seeing and hearing more about the animals that you're studying, and I'm looking forward to talking with you more one-on-one during our Zoom sessions today and tomorrow, and our class meeting on Friday. Okay, have an excellent day of learning from home, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.